Greetings, y'all. Patrick Garcia here, Legendary Lifestyles. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about experiencing self-doubt. So this is going to be about sort of reassuring yourself when in times of self-doubt. So as always, I like to draw from my own experiences and sort of have that lead into what the topic of discussion is going to be. Or it's not really discussion because it's like one way. But you can discuss this with me when you leave comments in the YouTube page. Alright, so last time I had a video about faking it till you make it. And I talked about how two of my bosses left. So we're running a startup company right now that deals in medical transportation. And a lot of their responsibilities fell on me, which is, dispatching, processing payments, and at the same time, while I'm handling the phone, because our phone lines are 24/7, I'm picking up patients too and dropping them wherever they need to go. So, what does this have to do with my self-doubt? Well, when self-doubt occurs in terms of mastering your journey and sort of trying to accomplish your goals, there are two things that primarily happen, in my opinion. I'm sure there's a lot of things that go on psychologically, but of recent discovery, this is what I've discovered in my path and in my journey to accomplishing my goals and to sort of reaching for my dreams. So, one thing is that you will be tested. Whatever you believe, whatever you're studying, you will be tested on that. Because let's say, when I first got into video making, I wanted to create a channel that sort of pushes positive thinking, self-development, and reassurance in yourself, and sort of tapping into the greatness that we can all be. So, how am I being tested in that light? Well, this is exactly what I'm stressing out over work, is, all the things that I've experienced at work, juggling all of these tasks at once, with two of my bosses not here, that enables me and actually tests me to see how far I've come along in self-development and self-improvement. Everything that I've been learning up to this point, whether it's watching videos, reading books, listening to audio tapes, has been coming into play more than ever in the past couple of weeks. So everything I learned from Eckhart Tolle and David Deida and things of that nature has definitely come into play because, patients are pissing me off. My coworkers are pissing me off. We just hired one or two guys and it's been really tough trying to get them up to speed because my bosses left and both of them actually went on vacation right when they hired these two guys, so I kind of had to help train them. So, it's been a little irritating. So, a lot of things that I learned from Eckhart Tolle is that a lot of things that we experience in our lives can actually be attributed to the ego. It's not exactly you that wants to run everything perfectly. It's not exactly you that wants everything to run smoothly. It's your ego that wants all of these things to happen just your way. Your ego wants everything to be running perfectly. Now, one of the things that he talks about in A New Earth is that when you're having a terrible day, you think to yourself, wow, everything is going wrong. When you look at the weather, the rain is not bad. The wind is not bad. It just exists. It just is. It is just there. It is your perspective and thinking that it is bad. Now, the second thing, which is also coupled with the first idea, is a matter of like versus want. So, while you're being tested to see who you really are, and if you are truly who you say you are, you will be forced to reassess your sort of identity. So let's take me for example. My identity is writer, video producer, or maker. I don't even know what to call this thing because we're living the digital age now and everybody's got their own equipment and can make whatever they want. So let's say like digital media artist, okay? And as the more I make these videos, the more I am searching for other people's advice and feedback. So I recently produced this short film. Well, I wrote it and we shot it last summer, but we just now got it up there. You can check it out, channel DPG. It's called The Fetish. It's pretty neat short film. Pretty proud of it. But there's these two black bars on the side of the screen. So the screen is this, but there's like these little black bars on the side. And at first, I thought the reason why they were there is because I didn't understand codecs and compression. And I just got off the phone with one of my cousins who's really good at all this stuff, really artistic, writer, director, producer, he can do it all. And he told me, no, it's not because you don't understand codecs, and it's not because you don't understand compression, it's because you don't understand aspect ratio. Now, he threw a lot of numbers at me, and I was like, oh boy, I don't feel comfortable doing this. I'm not an editor, you know, I'm not good with like lens adjustment and things of that nature. I'm a writer, and I like creating stories, and I like writing a script. And this is what was going on in my head. But at the same time, on the other side of my head, I was thinking, wait a minute. Don't you promote being scrappy? Don't you promote clawing your ways and, you know, clawing through all the bullshit and getting your elbows through the mud in order to be where you want to be at? So why are you complaining about learning what kind of lens to use? Why are you complaining on, trying to learn compression, aspect ratio, codecs and stuff like that? You know, I looked at my videos when I first started Legendary Lifestyles around that time, and it was like I was so like, all right, so I don't know what I'm doing, and you know, I'm gonna have to learn how to do all this stuff that I don't know how to do, but I like it because it's fun. You know, and I had this sort of energy of like, yeah, I like starting from the bottom. I like not knowing what I'm doing because it gives me a chance to prove myself. And you know, and what happened to that energy? You know, when I got off the phone with my cousin, I was very discouraged with myself that I didn't know how to do any of the technical stuff when it came to my videos. Well, the biggest thing that was happening there is that I was being forced to look at my creative identity and figure out, is this something that I want to do, or is this something that I would just like to do? So what David Deida talks about there in Way of the Superior Man is usually when we want to become something, when we aspire to be something, we will be tested in a way of, do we really want it? And do we really want to be that person? So I love making videos, I love writing, I love producing, I sort of like directing, but now I'm being tested. Okay, you want to be an artist in the digital world, you want to be an artist of the new media. Would you want to be this artist, or do you just like, or would you like to be this artist? So the reason why we ask ourselves these questions, or the reason why these questions are brought to us, is the fact that our identities are being shed forth and brought to light. Basically, you know, bottom line, it's just asking ourselves, is this what we really want for ourselves, or the thought of being whatever we want to be is, you know, thrilling to us in the most minimal sense. Okay, so I don't know if I'm making any sense here, but to further explain it, it's like asking yourself, you know, do you really want to become this identity, or is this, or the thought of becoming this identity is what appeals to you? So that's that. Okay, so let's just recap. Number one, if you want to be something, if you have a goal in mind, you will be tested to just, you know, so it's sort of the universe's way of, you know, putting your money where your mouth is. And second, figure out if this is something that you would just like to do, or if this is something that you want to do. Because if you really want to do it, you're gonna have to sacrifice a whole lot of time, energy, perspiration, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, all that ugly stuff, okay? So, I remember Jack White once said, you know, if you want to be an artist, whether you're a writer, musician, filmmaker, or whatever and whatnot, you sort of have to work more than the average person. Because if you go to your job and you have one of those like punch-in clocks, right? Your work is already laid out for you. You know, you just have to go there and do it. whether if you want to be a creative person and you want a job with more creativity, it's gonna you're gonna have to rely on yourself to create stuff from scratch. And I know of a lot of you guys want to get out of your normal job and transition to whatever it is you want to do, your dream job. Well, you know, a lot of that entails working even more right after you get off of your day job. Okay, so that's wanting it. All right. So with Patrick Garcia, Legendary Lifestyles, and as always, become legendary.